expect to learn a lot more about Dust Bowl.
I'm just really much just looking at the museum, having fun pretty much.
I think the biggest environmental issue that we face today would be drought. I believe that it's affecting crops and the prices of crops, which is also affecting the recession.
A lot of farmers in the Oklahoma area and regions around there, they had a very big dry spell and a very big drought with huge mass storms of dust that ruined all their crops and all their yields for their years and many years to come. And so many of them had to move out west to places such as California in order to reach a place that they can farm and actually grow crops and prosper.
I've heard about the Dust Bowl and previous TV shows and grades, and it devastated everyone that was living near the Dust Bowl and all the crops and all the livestock. And environmental issues are problems in the environment that people are creating, and in order for them to be fixed, people have to be fixed.
It kind of looks like a tornado, the Dust Bowl, and it's like a thing. I think it's a wind of dust.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Liz Cook. I'm the environmental educator here at History Colorado, and we're officially starting our program now. And we're so happy to have all of you here for the National Youth Summit on the Dust Bowl and also our local Colorado Youth Summit on environmental issues in Colorado. So first of all, I want to thank all of our groups that are here today. So when I call out your school name, you can kind of give a wave. First of all, I want to thank the students from Coronado High School and Ms. Schultzke who came. Let's give them a big round of applause. They came all the way from Colorado Springs. And let's give another gentle round of applause for our students from Dora Moore School who came here, and Miss Jones who did all the arrangements to bring them here. We also have a few students from the Denver School for International Studies. Let's give a hand out for them. Hello. Thank you, guys. We're really excited to have all of you here because we think this is a really important topic, the story of the Dust Bowl, what happened 70 years ago right here in our state in Colorado, and the choices that people made and how those choices impacted with natural systems and natural catastrophes and caused one of the greatest environmental catastrophes in U.S. history. And I think it's really important to look at this, and I think there are so many important decisions facing us as Coloradans that can be learned from this story. So I think this is a really great opportunity for us to come together and explore the issues of history and how they impact our choices today.
Let me tell you how it was. I don't care who describes that to you. Nobody can tell it any worse than what it was. That no one exaggerates that. There is no way for it to be exaggerated. It was that bad.
Just this year, we've had several fires here in Colorado. These are some of the noteworthy ones. In March, we had the Lower North Fork fire in Jefferson County. 3 people died, 20 or so homes, several thousand acres.
So my name's Adrian crutch, and I'm here to talk to you about hydraulic fracturing, which is a research topic of mine at the University of Colorado, where I'm a PhD student in the Environmental Studies program, and I'm also a graduate research assistant at the Center of the American West.
If we can have a way of looking into systems to understand or predict how much snow we're going to have, well, maybe we're going to be able to be safer about the amount of waters that we have in our reservoirs, right? Yeah? Sweet.
And also, in terms of water, every single drop that you see in all those rivers and those reservoirs, every single drop is accounted for. Somebody has the right to use that water.
My name's Dylan Hurdle. I'm a senior at George Washington High School, and my question is for Einar. You talked briefly about how homes could be built to be resistant to fires and resistant to the phenomenon of embers. So in what ways can we best protect our homes against fires?
Great question. We can build our homes of fire-resistant materials. We can use asphalt shingles on our roof, which is the most vulnerable part of our house when it comes down to it, instead of wood shake shingles. we can
Hello,
use.
I'm Michael Tuxhorn from Coronado High School. I have a question for Kristen Mayhard. How comprehensive should Colorado State's water policy be, since water is such a varied resource that's used for so many different things? How comprehensive should the policy on water be?
Well, that's a very great question, and a tough one too. I think first you get right at it. The heart of your question is that our water policy should be comprehensive. We have to look at ways that we can better share water between farms and cities. So instead of just selling them outright, temporary leasing or fallowing fields during dry years. And then obviously all these things need to take into account preserving environmental and recreational stream flows.
Hi, my name is Kayla Henley. I'm a senior at Roaring Fork High School. And my question is for Adrian. I was wondering, in regards to hydraulic fracturing, do you know if there are other methods, if research is being conducted to look for other methods that may not be as detrimental to our water ground system?
I don't know what they've come up with yet, but I would say that sort of moving forward from that, I think the research that really matters is the research that gets us away from fossil fuels altogether. And so hopefully we'll come up with a better tool than hydraulic fracturing for natural gas development, and hopefully on top of that we'll come up with a better strategy all the way around for energy.
Some of you may have changed your mind. All right, we're going to do this quick. Stand up if you think that water is the most pressing environmental issue. All right, you guys can sit down. How about wildfire? All right. How about hydraulic fracturing? How about climate change? All right. How many people, go ahead and sit down. If you changed your mind between the first vote and the second vote, stand up. If you changed your mind. Oh, interesting. So a bunch of people were convinced. Okay, you guys can go ahead and sit down. All right, so I want to give a big round of applause again to our panelists. I want to give a big round of applause to all of our students.
Well, I learned that fracking is called hydraulic fracturing. So that was new for me. And I found it interesting to learn that how government plays such an important role in these environmental issues that we've been facing not only decades ago, but continue to face and deal with today.
We're reading The Grapes of Wrath, and so I wanted them to come here today to learn a little bit more about the Dust Bowl and to connect the themes and ideas and concepts they're getting from the book to today. It's always going to make literature relevant.
I thought that the Dust Bowl documentary was really cool, and I'd really actually like to see it when it comes out. I was really interested by the presentations that the 4 people here just did. I thought that they were really good, and I learned quite a few things, especially about fracking.
The biggest thing I learned today was probably the impact that water has on our environment, on our lives, how we can't really survive without it, and more than just the obvious statement of, without water we can't have life, just how it relates to all of it.
I definitely am inspired to go home and share with my family about what I learned here today, because it really changed my perception of, like, when I'm drinking water or anything, I think about how it was back then and how they lived through the Dust Bowl.